everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name's Rhiannon and today I'm going to be showing you all the bookish things that I bought whilst at Yalc and Comic-Con. Now, I wasn't actually planning on buying a lot of books at Yalc. I told myself that I didn't need anything that I wanted I could buy elsewhere anyway, so there wasn't any pressure on me to buy books. However, I did end up buying quite a few. For those of you who don't know, Yalc is the young adult literature convention that happens every year in London. Obviously it's not happened for 2 years now, I want to say, because of COVID, so this was the first year back, and I think just being in a place that has so many bookish things going on, it was inevitable really that I was going to buy some books. I'm not too mad at myself though, because I feel like the things I bought had a reason and a meaning, which I will go into obviously when I show you guys the books. But I did also buy a few other things as well, so definitely keep on watching to see what those are. I do just want to quickly say as well that anyone that I mention in this video will be linked below, so if there are any bookish stores that you're interested in, please do go ahead and check them out. They are absolutely amazing and I'm so happy with every single thing that I bought in Yalc and Comic-Con this time round. Other than that though, I don't have anything more to say, so let's just dive into the haul. So as you saw from my thumbnail, I do have this little goodie bag. I won this actually. I was one of the first 500 people to buy tickets for Yalc, and so I was given a goodie bag as a kind of thank you, I suppose. But in here I have all of the bookish things that I bought, so I am just going to pop it down because it's really heavy. But what I'll do, I'll just pull the stuff out and show you guys and go through it like that. So the first thing I have to show you is actually the first book that I got whilst at Yalc, and that is the Penguin Game of Tropes rulebook. I honestly don't have much of a clue what this is. I won this, or rather Carrie won this, but because I was there and kind of helped her a little bit with one of the games that was going on at the stalls, I was also given a copy. And I believe it's like a kind of choose your own path sort of book. I'm not quite sure. So instead of me reading all of this out for you, you guys can pause the video right now and have a read through if you want to know more of what this book is about. Again, I haven't actually worked it out yet. I haven't properly looked through the book itself, but Carrie did think it was a kind of game that you could play by yourself where you chose the path that you wanted to go down. So definitely an interesting one. I wouldn't have bought it, but because I won it, I obviously have it in my possession, and I am definitely interested, but I think I'm gonna look it up and see what I'm actually meant to do with this book. Next up is a book that I'm so excited to get to, and I'm so happy that I managed to get a hold of it at Yalc, and that one is Unraveller by Frances Hardinge. If you don't know, Frances Hardinge is the author of The Lie Tree, which I read about 3 years ago now, I want to say, and fell in love. She does also have a load of other books, which I can't remember the names of all of them off the top of my head right now, but essentially I read The Lie Tree and fell in love with it, and I feel like it was a very different book for me to enjoy as well. I feel like it was very out of my comfort zone in some way, but as soon as I read it, fell in love with it and have wanted to read more of Frances Hardinge's work ever since. I did actually get to meet her when I was at Yalc last time, which was either in 2018 or 19, I can't quite remember, but I love chatting to her. She's absolutely amazing, and so when I saw this book and found that you can try and win it, I obviously had to take part. However, if you've seen that vlog, you'll know that I didn't manage to win this book. I tried twice, you guys. It was a 50-50 game and I lost both times, but the lovely Rachel from Rachel Kerris very kindly gifted me her copy. She took part in the game, she won, and she just didn't think that this book would actually be her type of thing. And of course, I love Frances Hardinge. I know that I enjoy her writing style, and so Rachel very kindly gifted this one to me, and I'm so grateful. And this is definitely one that I'm gonna pick up over summer as well and get it read, because I'm so excited for it. All it says on the back is, you can't cure a curse, you have to unravel it. You have to find the reasons that wove it and work out how to pull the threads loose. So I don't know if there's any other description in here, but to be honest, that's all I really need to know. And then here is a list of all of her other books. So again, feel free to pause the video and have a look through. I do own Fly By Night and A Skinful of Shadows, which I haven't gotten to yet, but I really do want to, so maybe this will give me the kick I need to pick up those books, and I'm really hoping that this is one that I do end up loving as well. Moving on to the books that I bought, again, wasn't planning on buying anything, however I did go into the Waterstone section of Yalc and I ended up spotting something that I could not leave. Now if you guys have been following me for a while, you'll know that Michelle Paver is one of my favourite authors. She is the one who wrote the Chronicles of Ancient Ancient Darkness series, starting with Wolf Brother, and she was actually at Yalc on the Friday, which I was so gutted about because I was travelling down to London Friday night, and so obviously I couldn't make it to Yalc to see her. But the good thing about her being there is that her other middle grade series was there and I could pick it up. So I did end up buying the whole thing. I bought 5 books, but honestly I'm really not mad about it. I have been looking for these everywhere and I feel like they're really hard to get a hold of, so the fact that they were all there at Yalc at the Waterstone stand where I could use my points anyway, I just thought it was a no-brainer. Now I don't quite know if this series is in order. I've just kind of thrown them into a bag and haven't really looked into it. I do know that the first book is The Outsiders, which looks like this. I will give you a close-up of every single one in a second, but all I needed to know was that they were written by Michelle Paver and I was sold and wanted to buy them immediately. So on the back it says, if an outsider wields the blade, the house of Kronos burns. Hylas is only a boy, but he knows 3 things. The gods exist, magic is real, somebody wants him dead. Hunted and alone, Hylas is desperate to find his missing sister. His quest takes him across the hostile mountains and treacherous seas of ancient Greece. His only friend is a girl on the run. His only guide is a wild dolphin. And his murderous enemies are closing in. The first book in a spellbinding new series from Michelle Paver, the best-selling author of Wolf Brother. That just sounds right up my street. I'm so excited for it. You guys know I love my Greek myths. I have just actually moved my Greek myth books down so that you can kind of see them in frame. So the fact that this is written by one of my favourite authors, it involves ancient Greece, I am just obsessed. Like, I cannot wait to read this. Another element in the Wolf Brother series that I loved was that we have an animal companion who is a wolf, and you do actually get Wolf's perspective throughout the whole book. So if this is anything like that, we might even get the perspective of the dolphin. I honestly have no idea, but that would be amazing. But yeah, I just saw them there. I could not leave them. You can tell by the smile on my face. I'm just so excited to get to these, and I feel like it's gonna be a new series that I'm just gonna fall in love with. And then just so you guys can see the covers, here we have The Outsiders, which is the first book. We have The Burning Shadow, Eye of the Falcon, The Crocodile Tomb, and Warrior Bronze. So I believe that I showed them to you in the right order, but as I've said, I don't actually know. Hopefully that was the case and I kind of figured it out, but if not, I apologize. But definitely expect a reading vlog from me soon where I read this whole series. Definitely want to binge it and complete it and see whether I love it as much as the Chronicles of Ancient Darkness. And yeah, once again, so happy I saw them there. Gutted I couldn't meet Michelle Paver, but this is a kind of bittersweet thing that I have managed to take away from Yalc. And then the other book that I bought whilst I bought those 5 was Forging Silver into Stars by Bridget Kemmerer. Now Bridget Kemmerer was an author who was at Yalc. She was there on the Sunday morning and she was signing copies of her books. So I decided to buy this one whilst I was there. I did want to pick it up anyway, and then I saw this edition with the beautiful sprayed edges and just had to get it. But then I had a bit of a nightmare where I was actually cut off from the Bridget Kemmerer queue because she was running out of time and they had to stop the signings, and I feel like a lot of people did miss out on getting to meet Bridget. However, just before I left Yalc, Chloe from Chloe Reads Books saw me and she asked if I had managed to get my book signed from Bridget, and I said, oh no, I was cut off, I didn't manage to see her, but it's fine, whatever. And Chloe was like, no, she has literally set up her own little stand separate to her signing table and she's just signing everyone's books and you should go. And so that is what I did. I did manage to meet Bridget. The photo is in my Yalc vlog, so if you are interested you can go and check that one out. But she was so lovely. Again, I'm really happy that I did end up buying this one because I got it signed. So it just looks like this. It says For Rhiannon from Bridget Kemmerer. So I'm so happy that I did actually decide to buy this one and that I did manage to meet Bridget. The only problem now though is that I found out that this is a kind of sequel to the Accursed Dark and Lonely trilogy, so I can't quite read this one yet because I haven't finished those books. I did actually take Accursed Dark and Lonely with me to meet Bridget. She did sign this one as well, and it's just inspired me to want to actually finish out this series now because I read this first book and fell in love with it. That is the reason that I wanted to meet Bridget, was to tell her how much I loved this book, and I've just never carried on with the rest of the books in this trilogy, so I definitely feel like I'm gonna have to buy those soon and get through this one, and then once I do that I can pick up Forging Silver into Stars and see what all the hype is about for this book as well. So those were all of the books that I either bought or won at Yalc. But as I mentioned earlier, I did get a Yalc goodie bag, and in the goodie bag we had a load of little samplers for different books, so I will just show them to you now just in case any of you are interested in what was actually in the goodie bag. So this is the first one. It says Welcome to Happy Head, March 2023, and it just says here, we are in an epidemic of unhappiness. The data has shown that without intervention, you, the youth of our country, are in serious danger of many things, but increasingly in danger of yourselves. Friends, here's the good news. Happy Head has the answer. So that's definitely intriguing. It's a short little book, but I will definitely read this and see what I think of it. Next up, we have Don't Doubt the Rainbow by Anthony Kessel. For this one, it says, reaching into her coat pocket beside her mother's grave, Edie finds a note from Mum. My darling Edie, if you're reading this now, it means something dreadful has happened to me. The note contains the first of 5 cryptic clues. By solving the clues, Edie will discover who wanted her mother killed and why. Courageous and clever, Edie risks everything in her investigation as she enters a dangerous adult world in which science and morality clash violently. But it's only by changing her whole way of thinking and staying one step ahead of the shadowy presence out to stop her that she'll find a path through to the truth. That actually sounds amazing. It's definitely my type of thing, and I will be reading the sampler. Hopefully I will love it, and that will make me want to pre-order this book. Next up, we have Making Trouble by Rachel Churcher, and for this one it says 15-year-old Topher Mackenzie has a complicated life. His mum is in Australia, his dad is struggling to look after him, and Auntie Charlie is the only person who understands. When his girlfriend is forced to leave the UK after a racist attack, Topher faces a choice: accept the government's lies or find a way to fight back. The Battleground series is set in a dystopian near-future UK after Brexit and Scottish independence. Making Trouble is a standalone spoiler-free prequel novella which can be read at any point in the series. Oh, okay, that is really cool. That is definitely one that I feel like will be very important. So again, I will be reading this one, and I will be looking into the series to see whether it's one that I will enjoy and whether it's one that I will pick up. Next up, we have this one, which is Nubia: The Awakening by Omar Epps and Clarence A. Haynes. This one is out in November 2022, and this just looks beautiful. I can't actually find a synopsis for this one, so I don't think I can tell you anything about it, but it does strike me as a kind of sci-fi dystopian type of book as well, and that's not typically my type of thing, but I will look into this. I will give the sampler a read through, and again, if I enjoy the writing style and the story itself, I will definitely be inclined to pick this one up. Then we have The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. This is a sequel to Once Upon a Broken Heart by the same author. She is also the author of the Caraval series, which I have read. I think I've read the first 2 books but haven't finished it out, and I wasn't sure whether to dive straight into these books because I haven't finished the Caraval series and these are a continuation of that story. So please do let me know whether I should finish the Caraval series before diving into these or whether I can read these separately. I feel like I would enjoy these 2 a lot more. I have tried to read the Caraval series now quite a few times. I really enjoyed the first book when I read it. I then went on to read the second book and have just struggled to get back into it and pick up the third one. But as I mentioned, this is one that I do want to get to. I feel like I will click with this a lot better, and Carrie was really excited for me to receive this one, so I feel like that's a good sign, and I'm hoping that I do love it. And then the last little thing we got was this book. This is a beautiful print on the cover. It says, writers to tell the story, readers to embrace them, celebrated at Yalc. And this is actually the program for the whole weekend, so it has the daily schedules, which authors are going to be there, which panels are on, which workshops are available, and this was actually very handy for me throughout the weekend because I could just turn to this, see what was on, and see whether I needed to be anywhere for a specific time. But it does just have a few little pages with some information. This is the Friday schedule. Obviously Yalc will have been now, so it's kind of irrelevant, but I think this will be lovely to look back on and see who was there when I actually did go. Oh, I forgot about this one. Okay, so me and Carrie did ask the team over at the Electric Monkey stand if they had this book. This one is Lies We Sing to the Sea by Sarah Underwood, and I believe it tells the story of Penelope's maids, and Penelope is Odysseus's wife, so it's going to be a Greek myth retelling. I don't think that's showing up properly. There we go, you can see it a bit better now. They didn't have an arc of that one, unfortunately, but I think they said they were going to release them closer to the actual release date of the book and that it was coming soon, so to keep our eyes peeled. So that is definitely one that I'm really glad I remembered about then, because it's one that I'm really interested in, and I think I'm gonna go and pre-order it now actually. But yeah, those were the samplers I got. I'm really happy with all of them. I think it's a nice touch as well to get samplers because you can see if you enjoy the writing style of the author before committing to buying the actual book itself. So very happy to have these, and I'm gonna work my way through them slowly but surely. One thing that I'm so glad I bought this weekend is a book sleeve. So this is what it looks like. It has a Mickey Mouse print all over. You guys know me, there was no way I could leave this one behind. They had a load of Disney ones available, but I just went for the classic Mickey Mouse print. I absolutely love this one, and I just thought it looked so simple but so nice. So this book sleeve was handmade with love by Kiara's Big Sister. Again, all the shops I mentioned will be linked down below, so please do check them out. They have so many more designs. This was just the one that caught my eye, and I feel like they definitely sold out of stuff before I got there as well, because they'd already been there the Friday and I didn't get this until I think about lunchtime on Saturday, so I have probably missed a load of stuff from them, but this one was just fantastic. So we have this little ribbon here, but you can open it up. It has this gorgeous print inside, and I actually managed to keep a lot of things in this. I kept my ARCs from the first day, then I kept the books I actually bought at Waterstones in here, and it doesn't look like it fits a lot, but trust me, it does. It fits at least 4 paperbacks, I want to say, and I also shoved my camera in here a few times as well, just to make sure that it was safe and secure. So this is definitely an amazing purchase. Love this item so much. I will be purchasing more from this shop because of how much I love this. It's so soft. There's no real structure to it, so if you have a smaller book, you can kind of fold it over and keep something safe there. You can use it for literally anything. It doesn't have to be books either. Very happy with this one, and it was such a practical thing for me throughout the weekend. And some things that I also kept in that book sleeve actually to make sure that they weren't damaged were my prints. Now, the first one I'm going to show you I don't love, but the whole experience of it is just absolutely amazing, and I'm so happy that I do have this photo to commemorate it. So for those of you who don't know, Andy Serkis was actually at Comic-Con this year. He is of course the actor who portrayed Gollum from the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which you guys know is my favourite ever film franchise, and I was debating meeting him or not, and my stepdad was like, oh my gosh, just meet him, you're gonna regret it so much if you don't. So I did. This is the photo that I've got. Gollum in the middle is actually terrifying, but Andy Serkis was just the best person ever. He was so lovely, and even though the event itself was a bit of a rush and it was a bit stressful, I think it was worth it just to see him, say hello, and just meet one of my favourite ever actors. So I loved this experience. I will definitely be attending more photo shoots in future Comic-Cons. I just think it was such a lovely way to be able to meet one of your favourite actors. There were a load of different actors there this year, very popular ones as well, and I'm just so happy that I did manage to meet Andy Serkis. The one thing I will say though is that Comic-Con gave you the photo like this, so they didn't give you any sort of cardboard sleeve or wallet to put this in, and mine did start to fold a little bit. You can see a little bit there at the top. So what I ended up doing was I put it in this book sleeve because it fit perfectly, and that way I could make sure that it was protected and that it wouldn't be damaged further. So again, very useful, versatile little book pouch. And then another print that I bought I am absolutely obsessed with, and it is this print of the Fellowship. Again, if you guys don't know, this is from the Lord of the Rings. We have Merry, Pippin, Gimli, Legolas, Gandalf, Aragorn, Boromir, Frodo and Sam, and this is a print from Nick Chambers. I have been following Nick Chambers for the longest time. I've seen his art prints and just fell in love with them, and this was one that I desperately wanted. However, the print itself on his website has been sold out. It was an exclusive release and I couldn't get my hands on it, but I knew that he was setting up at Comic-Con this year and decided to just go over and have a look, and to my surprise this was actually there. So it's not the size that it should be. The original print was a lot larger, but I am so happy to have this now. I was so happy that I actually ended up buying two, one to put on my shelves and one to keep in case the one on my shelf gets damaged. But I just love this art style so much. I love the Fellowship. It's such an iconic thing, isn't it? And yeah, I'm just so happy to own this one now. I'm so happy that I was able to get my hands on it, and it wasn't that expensive either, so very happy to add this one to my collection. And I will just show you this as well, which is a promo poster I suppose for his shop, but it does have some of his art on there from different series. So this is what it looks like. At the top of course we have the Fellowship. The second one is Ghostbusters, I believe. Then moving down we have the Goonies, which I'm gutted I didn't buy actually because the Goonies is one of my favourite films ever. And then at the bottom we have a series that we don't talk about anymore, but that is an example of his artwork. He does have a new Stranger Things print as well, which looked insane, but I haven't caught up on Stranger Things yet, and so I didn't want to buy it just yet. But again, I will leave his site link down below, so definitely check it out. This is something that I'm definitely going to keep as well. I just think it looks really nice, and I just love his art, so this is definitely going to be put up somewhere. Then next up, I have some items from a shop called Ethereal Curiosities, and I walked past this shop so many times and I wasn't buying anything because I just could not decide what to buy. Everything from this shop is just stunning, and I would highly recommend you guys go and check out this Etsy page or the shop's Instagram page as well. But on my last day, on the Sunday, I decided I just had to buy something, so I ended up buying 2 bookmarks and a sticker sheet. So this is the first bookmark that I got, and just look at the beauty of this, you guys. If you don't know, this is inspired by the Akatar series and it is just beautiful. The foiling just caught my eye straight away and I could not leave it there. It is just the most beautiful thing and I'm so glad to own it now. The second bookmark I got was this one and it has some of the Shadowhunter runes on it. This is inspired by the Mortal Instruments series, the Shadowhunter World by Cassandra Clare, and for those of you who don't know, I'm on a massive Cassandra Clare kick right now. I met her at Yalc, I saw her at her event in Chester, and I am rereading the Mortal Instruments series now because I have just fallen back in love with her as a writer and I really just wanted to revisit one of my favourite series of all time. So those were the two bookmarks, but I did also get a sticker sheet which looks like this, and again you can see there's a theme here. These are some of the runes from the Shadowhunters world as well. This is what they look like, and you could actually get some with the names of the rune or just plain ones, but I decided to go for the ones with the names on it just so I could know what they meant, and I just thought if I didn't want them for any reason I could just cut off the name anyway and stick it in my scrapbook or whatever. So yes, I decided to get this one as well. Really happy with these. I will be using some of these stickers in a spread. I do want to make some spreads of Yalc and the Cassandra Clare event just because it's such a big thing that I was able to do and I'm so grateful for that. So yeah, I spotted these and just thought they were perfect for that purpose. And we have finally made it to the last items, and these two are some bookish candles that I bought from a shop called Bookish Burns. So this is what they look like. I did get a smaller one and a bigger one. I wasn't really planning on buying an extra candle. I did want this one specifically and I'll show you in a second why, but then this one was just one that I stumbled upon and just had to buy. So the little one that I knew I wanted was this Yalc candle. Obviously this was the whole reason we were there for that weekend, and I just thought having a candle like this specifically from a bookish shop would just be the best reminder of my time at Yalc this year. And it says that the smell of this is favourite authors and friendships, which is just so lovely. This also smells really good, but I don't think I will burn it. I think this will just be a display item for me to remember my time at Yalc in 2022. And then the second one that I bought is Bibliophile, and this is one of the best smelling candles ever. You guys know me, I love a sweet scent and this just hits it perfectly. So this is honeysuckle and elderflower, which I didn't think would be very sweet, but when you smell it, oh, it's just so lovely. It's sweet, but then it's got a kind of smokiness to it and I just am absolutely obsessed. I was literally there at the stall smelling every single candle, and I'm actually proud of my self-restraint to only buy two. Actually, I could have bought so much more, and again will probably be buying more in the future, but yes, I was very happy to have this one and very lucky to have the Yalc one actually, because I went there on the Saturday and these were sold out. I asked the lovely lady at the stand if they were being restocked and she said try and come here first thing tomorrow, we should have some more, and luckily there was. So yeah, thank you so much. Who knows if I will actually burn these two, we shall see. Let me know actually in the comments, do you guys burn your bookish candles or do you save them because you know you can't really get them a lot? I'm definitely one that does tend to save them, but for others I do burn them and I don't really care. So we'll see. One day I might be in the mood to light this and just have it as a candle, but for now they are going to sit very nicely on my shelves and I'm so glad that I did end up buying these. And that is it for this video, you guys. Please do let me know what you thought of my haul. Let me know whether you were at Yalc yourself and if you were restrained with your purchases or not. If you've made it this far into the video and would like to let me know that you're still here, please go ahead and leave a red emoji for me down in the comments. Seeing you guys comment the emoji of the video truly does make my day, and it just baffles me that you guys watch these all the way through. As well as that, please don't forget to click the like button if you like this video and the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. It truly does mean the world to me, and I will see you soon in my next video. Goodbye!